Hello and welcome back to Money Gist. I'm William Dada. Here are your top 5 stories at this time. Nigeria's foreign reserves are rising, and this is big news for the economy. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Kadoso, says Nigeria's gross external reserves stood at $50.45 billion as of mid-February. But here is the real headline. Nigeria's net foreign reserve jumped to $34.8 billion at the end of last year. Now, compare that to the end of 2023 when net reserves were just about $4 billion. From $4 billion, almost $35 billion in under 2 years, that's a massive increase. And that's not all. Nigeria has also added $3.5 billion worth of gold into its reserves. The Central Bank of Nigeria bought this gold locally and paid in Naira, not dollars. That means the country strengthened its reserves without touching scarce foreign exchange. The gold even meets international London bullion standards, meaning it can be traded globally if needed. So why should you care? When reserves increase, the CBN has more dollars and assets to support the Naira. A more stable Naira means less pressure on the prices of imported goods like fuel, food, medicine, and electronics. It also boosts investor confidence, which can attract more foreign money into Nigeria. But let's be clear, this doesn't mean that prices will crash tomorrow. What it means is that Nigeria now has a stronger financial buffer, more protection against global shocks, and less dependence on oil and the US dollar. It's not instant magic, but it's a strategic move to make the economy more stable in the long run. And that's what could eventually benefit everyday Nigerians. The federal government has started enforcing a new rule that will change how oil money is handled in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu has ordered that all oil revenues must now be paid directly into the federation account. The account shared by the federal, state and local governments through FARC. According to the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, NNPCL will immediately stop deducting two major charges from oil profits, a 30% management fee and another 30% meant for frontier oil exploration. That means more oil money should now go straight into the Federation account for sharing. The government has also suspended gas flare penalty payments into the midstream and downstream gas infrastructure fund for now. But here's the catch. All companies won't immediately start paying directly into the Federation account. The government says it will allow a transition period so existing contracts and financing agreements are not disrupted. For now, contractors will continue paying under the current system until new guidelines are released. A special technical team has been set up and given 3 weeks to create clear rules for the transition. The team will also review parts of the Petroleum Industry Act to fix structural issues affecting government revenue. Meanwhile, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) says Nigeria will start exporting a new light sweet crude called Colthon this March. This new oil grade is similar to Bonny Light, which refiners love for making gasoline and diesel. The first shipment is expected around March 24 to 25 using a special vessel that can carry 2.2 million barrels from the eastern Niger Delta. This move could push Nigeria's oil supply up slightly from about 1.65 billion barrels per day to 1.7 million barrels, helping the country meet its OPEC plus production quota. Security improvements in the Niger Delta are also helping cut theft and boost output. Colthon is Nigeria's third new crude grade in recent years after Utapate in 2024 and Obodo in 2025, giving the country more flexibility in selling oil to different buyers. Experts say these steps could strengthen Nigeria's position in the global oil market, attract more investment and increase government revenue, just as President Bola Tinubu's reforms aims to revive the sector. Nigeria's oil story is back on the rise and the world is watching. Nigeria is about to get a fresh $500 million loan from the World Bank, and this one is for agriculture. The loan, expected to be approved by March 30, 2026, will be fully funded by the bank's concessionaire arm, the International Development Association (IDA). Was the goal? Boost small farmers' productivity, strengthen agricultural value chains, and create more jobs across participating states. Now, here's why this matters. Agriculture is still Nigeria's biggest employer. About one-third of Nigerians depend on it, with over 21 million people working in the sector. But despite that, Nigeria still imports about $10 billion worth of food every year. This new project called Agro plans to link small farmers directly to buyers and agribusinesses, improve seeds and fertilizer systems, support research and encourage private sector investment. In simple terms, help farmers produce more, sell better and earn more. However, this loan will add to Nigeria's growing debt to the World Bank. As of end of last year, Nigeria already owes the IDA about $18.7 billion, making the country one of its top borrowers globally. So the big question is, will this loan truly grow food production and jobs or add more pressure to our debt? We'll keep watching. Electricity supply across Nigeria has dropped badly in the last 3 months, and Nigerians are feeling the pain. From Lagos to Abuja, many homes now get just 2 to 3 hours of light a day, sometimes only at night when people are already asleep. In Surulere, a resident says he spent about 5,000 naira daily on fuel just to power his generator. In Yaba, a phone repairer says his income has dropped from 30,000 naira to 15,000 naira per day because there's no steady electricity. In Abuja, a welder says diesel now costs him 8,000 naira daily, wiping out his profits. So what's really going on? According to industry data, Nigeria's power plants are currently operating at just 36% of installed capacity. That means out of over 13,000 megawatts available, less than 5,000 megawatts is actually being produced. What accounts for the main situation? Gas shortages for thermal plants, low water levels at hydro dams, pipeline vandalism, foreign exchange problems, and huge unpaid debts. In fact, generation companies say they are owed over 6 trillion naira and have only been paid about 35% of what they are due over the years. Because of this, they can't invest in maintenance or expand capacity. To make matters worse, the national grid has collapsed at least 4 times between last November and February this year, including one total blackout where power generation dropped to 0 megawatts. Meanwhile, Band A customers paying about 209 naira per kilowatt hour for premium supply are complaining that they are not getting the promised 20 hours of electricity, and consumer groups say Nigerians should not suffer for problems caused by generation and transmission failures. Experts are now calling for better gas supply coordination, stronger grid infrastructure, more private sector involvement, and urgent financial reforms. Because at the end of the day, without stable electricity, businesses suffer, incomes drop, and the entire economy slows down. And that's the real cost of Nigeria's power crisis. How many hours of electricity do you get daily where you live? And are you on band A, B, or C? Share your experience with us in the comment section below. That's your Money Gist Top 5 for today. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for simple business and economic news everyone can understand. I'm Emisi Dada. See you in the next video.